Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm going to try to do my first locals vlog. I'll be showing you the deck I play a couple games, trying to show off the locals, just trying to do something a little bit different than the monotonous deck profiles and game choices, just to be a little bit different. So come along and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's go. So here's the list for today. Today I decided to go for a little bit of a Zoro. I haven't played him in a while. I've been experimenting with a lot of different control decks, the weirder decks in the format. I really haven't gotten to play Zoro too much, and I'm excited to see how I can take a couple games with aggro. As you can see here, this list is a little bit different. Obviously, I wish I had a little bit more of my Gentleman Luffy here, but we only seem to have one so far. They're super hard to get. I haven't been able to go to enough tournaments to acquire more of them, but as you can see, I'm playing a lot of top end, a lot of 2K counters, just trying to keep my board as much as possible, while also getting advantage with Udas and things like that, recurring abilities with the Sanji, using Gordon to cycle my hand and get into the cards that I want. This is my take on red. It's a little bit greedier. This would be my updated red list, so let's see what I can do. And if you like it, the deck list will be in the description down below. All right, guys, so for today's locals, we're here at Nowhere Toys Comics and Games in Miami, Florida. This is a shop that's near dear to my heart. I worked here 2 to 3 years ago at this point in time. It's a great little store. Hopefully, I can get a couple W's, and let's see how the One Piece turnout comes out today. Let's go inside.
What we do here is go back.
All right, guys, you think I wouldn't leave you without some live commentary for this. So here we are at our locals. We're playing red this time. It's going to be a little bit of a different matchup. So I'm trying to show you the 3 rounds that I played. This was a best of 3 tournament. Sorry, yeah, it was a 3-round tournament, best of 1 format. I was playing the red Zoro deck that you saw there. This is my updated Zoro deck list, and I'm going to make a little deck profile about it soon to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on how I've updated that Zoro list and where I think red is going in the future. So with that being said, let's get right to round 1, baby. I tried to speed up these games as much as I could. It is 3 rounds. I'm trying to fit 3 separate games into this vlog. Hopefully we get a nice amount of content. You guys get that red itch. I haven't played a lot of Zoro. I've been experimenting with so many decks. I wish I had more time to play some of the decks, but such is life, right? So I think we roll off. I choose to keep. Going first in this matchup is absolutely insane, by the way. I'm able to go first on the draw, and I have Nami to start. That's like big gaming. Really much like that. I go for the red Luffy here. Mid-range Luffy is a solid card. You can just run it out for F5, and then I'm playing a lot of 2Ks. So as long as I can just run out most of my cards, I can just protect them for days, and God bless, dude. I go ahead, Dawn up to 3. I swing, he blocks with Chopper, and I play Nico Robin. And Nami into Robin, that's like probably as good of a curve as you're going to get with Zoro, in my opinion. So it uses the Nami's effect to go ahead and pump a Dawn, and then he goes and swings at me for 6. Keeping 1 up, maybe, buffing a Radical Beam, Guard Point, or something like that, which I'm perfectly fine with. And then I'm going to decide how I want to go ahead and attach this Dawn. So Nico Robin has to swing here. Nico is going to destroy this Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make her a 6. If she's going to attack, there's no point in not putting the Dawn on Zoro. He'll go ahead and guard point, protecting his life, and then Monkey D. Luffy will die because my effect happens when attacking. I'll go ahead and put down a Chopper, and then I'll put 2 for my own Luffy. Yeah, so my opponent's been defending as much as humanly possible, but even with those defenses, I just had the God curve on him. Like, it's unfortunate, but Nami into Robin into blocker 2-drop is just yikes. I get to use all my Dawn effectively, and I'm putting an insane amount of pressure on the board. He goes and drops the Zoro. Pretty solid card. Goes ahead and uses Nami's effect. Goes ahead and puts 1 under. Goes a 7 at my face. And I'm fine to take this. I don't mind taking the aggression. I'm just going to continue clearing board as much as I can. And as long as I have board state, I win the game. Board is everything in this game, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead, tap 4. This is either a Jet Pistol or a Law. Law's going to go ahead and drop that down from 5 to 3. And the 3 range is unlucky. I'm going to go ahead and put one under Robin and use Luffy's effect. I'm just using that Dawn, baby. Swinging at face, going 6 at face, triggering effect, deleting the Zoro. Going 6 at face once again. Radical Beam, sure, 6 at face again. Finally takes 1 point of damage. I finally got a damage in there, boys. And then I'll leave one up myself. Now, I don't have any guard point, but, like, honestly, I could have put one Dawn on another thing, but I don't think it necessarily matters. Had I put the Dawn, had I not put it on, he took the damage anyways. So, and I'm rather fine with him baiting out cards from his hand, actually. So, pretty okay with the outcome of this. He's at, again, since he's going second, he should be at 8 Dawn here. On 8, he's going to go drop that for 5. Has 3 available. He still has Nami, so he has like 4 available if you think about it that way. And he just plays Nico Robin. Uses Nami's effect on Zoro, making his Luffy a 7k. He's in a 7k at where? And I do have the guard point. I'm nasty. And then he's in a 6. I think he went... I don't know. I think he went face there, and then here he's going for Robin, and then I block. Chopper's done more than enough here, and I do have more just cards in my hand. I'm just going to go ahead and have Robin deal with his board state. And it should be off to the races after this round. So I'm at 9 Dawn this turn. I do have Brook, Luffy, and another Nico in my hand. Go ahead and put one there. I'm going to go ahead and 6 at his 6. He blocks with 1k. I go 6 at 6 again. I take the Luffy down. I go ahead, 6 at life, delete the Nami. And I'm just going to pistol this. I'm going to go ahead and tap 4, pistol the Robin. Going to use Luffy's effect to do some sucking. We'll go 6 to the 6 there. And there's no reason not to just use all my Dawn here. And then we will 6 with the Nami as well. Literally, we're attacking with 6 on every single attack. And then while clearing board. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So he goes ahead and plays Zoro. I still have a Brook in hand, a Nico, and a Rush Luffy. So my hand is looking mighty stacked. He goes... he has 2 rushes on board, basically paying 5 Dawn for 2 rushers. He's getting all of the cards without combo power. Plays another 2, so now he's at 7 total used. He has 3 available. Goes for the Nami. Sure. Nami's kind of like... She is a Dawn, but isn't a Dawn at the same time. She is more combo power. Goes for the Sabodi. Basically just revealing everything. Now I have full information of basically everything that he has in his hand. Sorry, the Meet Me in 2 years. Meet Me in 2 years goes for the Brook. He'll add the Brook to his hand. And then he has 2 rushers swinging at me for 7 each, and then leader at 6. So he goes and attacks the Nico Robin. Yeah, I just let it go at this point. It just doesn't matter. I couldn't defend it anyways, I'll be honest with you. So he swung 7 at 4, and even if I wanted to, I can match at 7, but that's about it. So it goes 7 into my Law. Now, I could have blown everything to protect the Law, but I just don't think it matters. And then he's going to go 6 at a location of your choice. So now with 10 Dawn, I get to just play this for 5. I'll use Luffy's effect to suck 2. I'll put 1 on Zoro, and then I'll go 6. And then 5. Yeah, I like to just rip as many resources as possible. And here's a weird little flip. Sorry for this angle. It's not the best, but this was probably my best game of the night. So I really wanted to show it. I think blue has a really good matchup versus red. And you can just see it here, how the way my opponent plays. He played it so well. So I'm going to go start off. I open Nami again because I'm cracked. And I go first. I'm double cracked. Just crazy with it. I add Zoro this time. Zoro is really solid into blue matchup. The thing is, getting hit by 7 each turn is pretty hard to deal with. And he opens his best card as well. So he goes Perona. Unfortunately, again, this angle is tough. But I will keep up with the Dawn usage as much as possible. So he's at 2 right now. Uses 1 for Perona. Stacks the top 5. And then he passes. Yeah, so they didn't have the Law to follow it up. And that's perfectly understandable. That happens sometimes. I'll go 5 with Zoro. Keeping my 3 Dawn up. That just kind of foretells that I kind of want to play a couple things here. I'll go Chopper on 1. And then I'll play 2 for Sanji. down. Sanji adds a lot of pressure. I don't really like running out the Zoros relatively early because I don't feel like they really just do as much. I feel like this is just a little bit more better use of my my Dawn. And so he's going to put 3 onto the Luffy. He has 1 left. He taps the 1 for the Pacifista. And I will take the damage here. Keeping my cards standing is really, really broken as he has to hit my face. And by hitting face, I basically have to double draw. And I draw a Shanks. Ooh, boy. That card is going to come in clutch later, I hope. I'll go put 1 on Zoro, and I go 6 at the Pacifista. Pacifista dies. No trigger at this time, so he didn't have any sort of Bartholomew to combo it up. I'll go Nico Robin here, keep 1 up, and I'm thinking about if I want to use the Sanji. Yeah, I'll take the draw, and I'll hit for 8. Yep. So basically, I take my own life there just to get another piece of damage in, and I'm pretty down. It's basically like draw a card, deal a damage, and I'm kind of down. For the most part, Sanji just provides a lot of pressure on the board because each turn he can draw me a card and swing you for 8, which is a very difficult number to block. At this point in time, he should be at 6 Dawn. So he has 6 available Dawn under his Luffy. Let's see where he chooses to go with it. He'll put 1 into the Perona, and Perona swinging at the Sanji. Interesting. And I'll go ahead and just 1k it. Yep. He has 5 Dawn available. If he attacks with the leader at it, I just can block it with Chopper and then just continue to move on. That Perona, it's fine that he took that swing because the Nico Robin just eats it next turn. So it's definitely an okay play. The issue is by turning the Perona sideways, if he plays anything else that's small, like a Law or another Perona, then he's in a tough pickle. So just as I said, if he swings that leader, I'm just going to block it. He has 5 Dawn available at this point in time. He's going to go Virgo. That's a pretty solid card. That's a big boy. So let's see how we handle this Virgo. We'll start off by putting 1 under Zoro. Probably 1 under Nico Robin. Yep, and then we'll attack face for 6, kill the Perona. And I might have to start running out these these homies. Now, I do have, I believe, a Brook, an Otama, double Zoro. So I kind of have a good understanding of my hand. I'll go 5 at face. I just want to start chucking a little bit of damage at my opponent here. I just want to start getting some cards out of his hand. So he's going to go ahead and pitch 2 cards for there, pitch 1 card there. I'm going to go ahead and pay 3 here, go 6 at face. He takes the 6, go 6 again, and he blocks with Alvida. And then I believe here I just pass. I keep the Sanji standing because Sanji by himself threatens the Virgo. So if the Virgo turns sideways, and I most likely will allow it to kill whatever he turns sideways with, the Sanji will draw me a card and kill the Virgo on the crack. So it's perfectly fine. I have another Zoro. So we'll see how this Virgo goes 7 at Zoro, and that's perfectly fine. It just means that Robin stays alive. That's very, very good. At this point in time, he has 8 Dawn available. So with the 8 Dawn, let's see how he chooses to play this. He's going to go put 3 on the Doffy. So now he has 5. He's going to tap 1 here. So he's going to go 4 Dawn total use. And he's going to use the Teaches effect before I can even respond to balance my Sanji. I think he's attacking my Nico Robin here. This is 8 damage. And here's where I think I kind of mess up. I go ahead and I Omega combo to save this Robin. And yes, I use the Sanji that he just gave me. And then he has 4 Dawn available. So kind of spooky, right? And now I still don't have a clean answer for this Virgo. I just take the 5. Like, there's no point in defending that Teach because if I just put any Dawn on my characters, you're in a really tough spot. So I just go ahead and I Shanks it. He does Love Beam. Love Beam will make it exactly 11. Had I put 1 Dawn under Zoro, if I had 1 Dawn to put under Zoro, he would have been at 11 and he'd have to combo into it. I do have a lot of combo power in my hand in terms of Otama and Brook. So the Shanks most possibly will live, but sticking a Shanks is really, really, really important versus his matchup, as this is just a card that they can't really deal with Mihawks or Doflamingos, and he's just going to consistently turn sideways. He's going to go ahead and put 5 under the Virgo. He's at 10 Dawn here, so I can out-combo that. Yep. And then I have 1 card in hand, but it is kind of scary for him to go and put everything on Flamingo. Like, theoretically, had he put 5 on Flamingo and swung at it, yes, the Shanks goes, but it's just not happening. So he's going to go ahead and attack my face. I do take this life, and I am looking a little sus at this point in time. He still has 5 Dawn available, a Virgo on board, and that's basically it. He's going to go play the Flamingo blocker, so now he has 2 Dawn available, but he gets to stack the rest of the deck. Just kind of weird how he plays this order. This kind of like foreshadows a Love Beam, because he wants to keep 2 up, right? If he didn't want to keep 2 up, he would have done this in a weirder order, put one less on Virgo, gone ahead and played the blocker, then used Flamingo's effect. So it's kind of foreshadowing the level beam. So I do get a nice top deck here in terms of Anami. God bless her soul. I definitely needed some of her. So I'll go ahead and 11 this time. Now, the blocker will just be able to just chump block this. And then I'll go 5 at face. And I'm still showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dawn at this point in time. I'll go 5 at face again. He pitches a Kuma for the Nami. And I just got to start turning on the engines here. He goes to the Love Beam. He's going to double draw. So he's going to be like at 4 cards. I'm going to attach a little bit more Dawn into my leader at this point in time. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go 9 at Virgo. Because I'm seeing that now that he's tapped his Love Beam that I knew he had up, I want to go for the Virgo and say, you got to show it to me. So he goes double 2K. So now he goes back to 2 cards in hand, and I go, fine, whatever, 6 at face. Go. So there's just a lot of pressure coming at him in this possible turn. He only has 2 real hits at this point in time. Whatever he attacks will probably die, but I do have another Zoro in hand that he is unaware of. My hand just keeps getting more and more gas. He can take my Shanks down if he decides to invest into it. But like, it's such a gamble that if I have just 1 2K, like, you just get blown out, you know? You have to go all the way up to 12. That's a 5 Dawn that you're investing. And he'll take that 5 Dawn. Sure. And he's rewarded, you know, the Shanks goes down. And that is a big threat to finally destroy. And he does know at this point in time that what is at the top of his deck. So because of the Don Flamingo from last turn, he puts 1 under it. It looks like maybe he doesn't want to draw it. I go ahead and let the Zoro go as well. Again, these are not cards that are going to necessarily win me the game. I just need to defend as much as possible here. He goes ahead and plays the blocker. No Dawn available now because he's played all 10 Dawn. So it goes back to my turn. I'm at 10 full Dawn, but I do have just a couple cards. I need to deal with this board, right? He has 3 attacks. I have 2 life. That's, you know, potential death. I draw the pistol, which is like really solid, making sure I get to go ahead and get over that. I go 8. Yep, 8's going to just be able to do it. And at this point in time, I don't really want to commit more Dawn. I go 5 on the Nami. And you got to either show me cards in hand or, yep, that's fine. And I'll go 6. And then I'll pass. Showing 2 cards in hand. But I was effectively able to deal with this board, so now I'm not afraid. Theoretically, he can go ahead and start clearing my board, but Flamingo doesn't really have any rush cards. The best thing he can do is teach, and if he starts teaching my cards, like, I'm absolutely fine with getting to replay them, because I really don't have many cards in hand, and I don't mind just refueling the board with my hand. He can't bounce the Namis, so he's kind of stuck in this position. He goes, pays 1 for the Perona, and 9 available Dawn at this point in time, and he's going to go ahead and stack the top of his deck. But it just becomes more and more difficult as these turns pass. The more cards that I draw, the more potential for me hitting Namis, Udas, Rushers. Like, it's just a lot that can go my way. And then once those cards start going my way, gasolina. But yes, me taking like early damage ended up being a little risky. I definitely did play on the edge this game, which I'm down with. He goes 2 on the Flamingo. Triggers effect goes Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria can grab a couple things here. So he's paid 3, 4 Dawn, 6 available. I'm going to let him resolve his effect fully before I go ahead and respond. And he goes ahead and I believe he grabs the Hancock. And then my character is destroyed or knocked out. He goes Hancock for 4, 2 Dawn available. Now that makes it a little bit tougher, right? With the 2 Dawn available, kind of spooky. And he's able to amass cards onto the board that are threats. So I will just go 6 at face. By him putting 1 Dawn under just means that, so he love beams me here. I go 5. And every turn is just scarier and scarier. He has 2 5s on the board. And leader and Perona. Like, it really doesn't look good for me. He goes 2K here. I go 5 again. I'm just trying as much as humanly possible to just make him pitch cards. I know he's at 3 cards. This will put him to 4 cards. I'll go ahead, play 3, and I'll go 7. And 7 will just, he has to block it because I'm basically putting him on no 2K there. So he goes and has to destroy his Boa. Get an out combo and protect it. If he was able to, he might have been able to like potentially close out the game, sort of. But I did have the Chopper to just put the final nail in the coffin. The Chopper will be able to like, good luck, man, dude. So it puts him in a tough position. He'll go 2 onto the Nami. You know, I let the nicer one stay because it's just cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna defend a Nami. No point. I definitely actually just want Nami's in trash, because if I am able to top an Uda, it just spirals out of control, you know? Uda grabbing the Nami, grabbing a card is like real solid. So he still has 2 attacks available, so it means I'm safe from getting lethal. God bless America. I will take, that is not enough investment. By him not putting Dawn here, it kind of or like, not foreshadows, but it kind of tells me exactly what's going on. So I go ahead and I take this blocker, and he wants to drop a Hawk. He wants to drop like a big bomb this turn. His hand's looking really just suboptimal, and I'm like, well, he could Law and Chopper me, and that puts me in kind of a weird position. But even with the Law and Chopper, he will be at 1 card in hand, 0 life, and I do have 2 attackers. If I just put the math correctly, it's impossible for him to block. So, yeah. I think at this point we were talking about it. I'm like, damn, you're gonna Law and Mihawk me. That's crazy. But this board state is a little bit better. He has the Boa, so I know the last card in hand is probably a Mihawk, meaning no combo power. If I just put my Dawn correctly here, he just loses. So I will go 5, and this will bait out the Boa Hancock block. Boa Hancock will draw, and then that will be the mystery card that I have to deal with, right? All right, you can also Law block here. It's kind of irrelevant. So he does take the draw, and then I just have to put this at 7. And then as long as it's 7, he cannot block. It has to go Law block. And then if he Law, and then we're just here talking, he scoops it up. Yeah, he Law blocks this, and then I just put everything on Zoro. Zoro for 12, and this game over. And then here's round 3. Thank God we're back to the good old formatting. But that was a really solid game. Very, very close. Well played to my Flamingo opponent. Really, really solid. There we go. I was like, what is this card? So it is going to be red versus Law. We finally get some Law action on the channel, and we're definitely going to see a lot more Law in the near future. We get to see a lot from what I was able to play against this weekend. So it looks like I will be going second. We're deciding what we want to keep and what we don't want to keep. My opponent immediately keeps, but I do have a Nami and then just Giga top end. So I'm like, I'm just a greedy boy. He'll go Bonnie pass. I'll go tap 1 for Nami. And I believe I go Nami into the Chopper. I have very little things. I could grab the pistol or the Chopper. I feel like Chopper just rounds out my turn a little bit better. And the pistol, I don't think is really going to come up in this match, if I'm being honest. He's going to go ahead and tap 1 for Bonnie. Sure. That's a free eat. Bonnie grab Bonnie. Kind of broken. He'll go Beji. And then Bonnie. Yep. Solid use of his turn. He'll swing at me for 5. Yep, I'll take the 5. No worries, man. And I'll draw for turn. I get an Uda. That's really good. So Uda basically kind of wants me to kill this Nami off. So I'll go 3 into 1. He lets it go. And then I still have 3 Dawn available. Kind of want to just start putting cards down on the table. I'll go 6 at lead. I'll tap 3, play my winner Luffy. Let's go. Probably shouldn't have played this. Probably should have played a Zoro just to apply a little bit more pressure onto the board state. But the winner Luffy is kind of cute. It becomes 8k with 1 Dawn on Zoro and 2 on him, so that's a lot of Dawn. I do have a Brook in hand, which makes him more playable. Brook is also an attacker with 1 Dawn. Save the Zoros for later. I love saving him for later. But there is something to be said about, with the amount of 2Ks I'm playing, just putting him on the board and then just keeping him on the board and then having him just pop, pop, pop. So he'll go 1 for Chopper. He still has Bonnie available. And this time I won't have to narrate the Dawn. God bless. I do let this Nami go as easy as possible. Bruh. I have that Uda in hand, and it's just easy as Sunday morning. And he's going to go Chopper again. This is a blocker control, baby. How am I ever going to kill it? Oh, and just another blocker. Sure. Just what we needed. He's thinking about this last Dawn, what he wants to go ahead and do with it. Now, there's something to be said about using the Bonnie here. You don't really need to kill it. Yeah, he goes for the Bonnie instead. Bonnie will grab him the best card in his deck, which is Trafalgar. I always mess up his name. So I'm going to go up to 6 here. So 6 will let me go Nami, and then like I have 1 Dawn available, but it looks like I already know what I want to do with that Dawn. 4, grab the Nami, play the Nami. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, if only Nami could grab Nami. God, that turn would have been crazy. And then I'll grab a point here. Just to grab some defense. I do have 1 Dawn available, and I don't mind just standing still on this turn. I do have 4 cards on the board. If he wants to hit me, he's going to have to hit my face. He doesn't really have any attackers besides his leader, which is something I've noticed about Law. It doesn't really have pressure until it gets to like the loop turns with Trafalgar, as well as Zoros and 5-drop Luffys if they're playing it. He's going to go 2 here for the Viper. Viper's going to suspend the Luffy. Now I can go ahead and defend this, and I think I might, just to like be annoying. I just use the point that I'm given. So you hit me with 5, you know I have 6. Let's go. Still has a bunch of Dawn available. He's going to go ahead and pay 2 here, probably using his leader's effect to go ahead and swappy swap. And then taking a little think. A little bit of a think here. There is something to be said about grabbing the pistol early, because had I grabbed the pistol, I would have been able to like deal with this law pretty efficiently, which would then deal with his board. So he's going to go ahead and bounce the Cat Viper, probably replay the Viper. You can also, it seems like he can play Law. Sorry, Zoro. Wait, we'll just play down the Zoro instead, save the Viper for later. Which is absolutely fine. Yeah, so I'm at 6, going to 8 next turn, so I don't get to Shanks just yet, but I do want to Shanks so bad. I love that guy. Just get to shank people. There's something to be said about saving it, with saving that Luffy with my chopper there, but I see so much like aggression coming from him that I just get a little spooked. I'll go 5 at lead. He'll go ahead and block with a flogger. I'll go 6. He'll draw here, and he is made himself widely. I'll go 6 at this Zoro. He's made himself a little bit too available. And then I'll go 3 for another Zoro, and I'll go 7 this time. And just like that, there goes all of his blockers. But he does get to keep the best cards on his board, which are the Law and the Zoro. I could have theoretically played Monkey D. Luffy instead of the double Zoro, and then with the Monkey D. Luffy, put 2 Dawn on him, and then made sure he was unblockable, swing for 9 over whoever I wanted to, and I most likely would have died. Law doesn't have a lot of defense. They have a lot to be desired in terms of combo power, so he's going to go ahead and suspend my chopper here, which will make his turn a little bit easier. He's Otama'd me, he's Cat Viper'd me, he's going to go 5 at 3, yep, that's going to go through, can't really defend that. He's going to go 5 here. And I'm down to start defending. I'll go ahead and 2k this. I have a bunch of 2ks in hand. He'll 2k. I will simply 2k. I'll keep the Brook because the Brook is the most aggressive one, and I do want it. All of his attackers are gone, so he's going to go ahead and swap out the Atama. Atama's probably going to bounce the Zoro, replay the Zoro, and he's going to swing Zoro at Zoro, which, I mean, such is life. Which, if he does that, I'm super duper down. His board is completely sideways, and I just want to just deal with his board. So yeah, I will just 2k here. He goes 3. And he plays another Zoro. And my hand is literally just getting eaten up here. Yeah, I only have 2 cards left, and they're bombs. But what shall we do? I think I have to stick a couple cards here. I'll go put 1 on to the Zoro. And I'll go... Let's see how I want to do this. Kind of tough, man. I'm not in a great position at this point, but I do have a ton of life to work with. I don't really want to run out the Shanks here. I don't think the Shanks... Like, it's not bad to Shanks him here. But I do want to make sure I do get some sort of control here. Gonna go ahead and Otama. I'll go 6 at Zoro. That will make... So that just shows to me that the rest of his hand is not real cards. So I will go ahead and... Yep. 6 at Zoro again. And there she blows. And then I'll 5, 7 at the Law. So there goes his board once again. Hasta la vista. And I'm kind of dealing with the best cards in his deck. And I know he can't recycle them the way that I can in terms of the Udas. So as long as we can just keep board state, I'm okay with Nami going, as Nami is recyclable from my trash. And it's not really an attacker. The rest of the cards on my board I do really want to keep. I do have Shanks in hand, plus a bonus card. It's going to start getting a little scary for him once I get that Shanks down. But I'm just getting annoyed at this Cat Viper. This is the 3rd Law, by the way. Yes, Chopper will go down. He'll go 6 at Uda. And just like his board disappeared, so did mine. So I have Nico, Robin, Guard Point, and Shanks here. It's a tough situation to be in. So I'll go 6 at this Law. He'll Chopper it. And then I'll just be like, all right, bet. Shanks, 11. The unfortunate part of this, the way that this turned out, I did have to put 1 Dawn on Zoro just to make it potentially kill the Law. But had I been able to keep up 1 card, I would have been able to have Point, and then Point would have just defended this Shanks immediately. He's at 12 here. It's unfortunate had I had one more Dawn. And then this Shanks, if it gets to get unrested, he just basically gets blown out. He decides not to attack here. He doesn't want to give me any cards. I do have 4 life available. I do top deck the pistol, which is awesome. I get to play the Nico Robin. I go ahead and decide to put... I have the guard point in hand, but I decide no. I'm going to make Nico Robin a 7 and then swing. I don't want to get blown out by Jet Pistol here. I could have just attacked first and then played the Robin, but I got a little excited, which kind of is a miscommunication here. Not a miscommunication, but a misuse of Dawn, in my opinion. And then by doing so, I don't leave 2 up. And then in doing so, I don't have the guard point available to protect the Robin, which is just like one misplay led to 3 bad sequences. And it's just unfortunate, but you have to see it like that. Once you start making slight mistakes, it starts getting a little scary. So I have guard point. I have Nami. That's a great top deck. Nami's going to please get me out of this situation. Unfortunately, I do have the bottom deck in Uda, which sucks so bad, man. Like, it would have been much better sequencing had I, like, Uda added, like, a Nami or something, or a Zoro, and then the next round I draw a Nami would have been much better use of my cards. So I've bottom deck 2 Udas at this point. I know at this time, I will not be able to get much value. I do just want to put cards. I don't want to go ahead and do a little too much. So I'm going to go pay 3 here. I know he's had 2 cards. I'm going to pass. I'm not even going to play the Zoro. I'm not going to allow it to get Jet Pistoled because at this point in time, I do have just kill on board with my hero and Zoro. He has 3 cards in hand, and I'm just betting that they're just not useful cards. And I do get, at this point, guard point available. So, again, 4 life. He has 4 attacks. He has a 5th attack with a Rusher in hand. So there is a point, like, there is something to be said about potentially trying to kill me. But in trying to kill me here, you're just going to fuel my hand. I add a Nico Robin off of life, have 3 life left. I'm just looking at his trash here. How many laws he's played? He's played 3 laws at this point. Triple Bonnie, like double Nami. It's just been like, he's had all the gas. Let me go ahead and play 1 Chopper. He still has 9 Dawn available. He can do whatever he wants at this point in time. Gonna go ahead and play the Supernova Law, which will go ahead and restand his Zoro, basically kind of giving him pseudo rush and then bouncing and then playing Luffy. Now he went from 5 attacks to 6 possible attacks. So if he tries to go for lethal here, I am in a pickle. But at this point, I do know the last card in his hand, which was the card that he bounced. So I have full knowledge of everything at this point. If he goes for lethal here and he doesn't get the lethal, then he's dead. If he doesn't go for lethal here, he's also dead. So he kind of is forced to do it. He only has 2 Dawn available, which makes it a little bit more questionable. He goes for a 5 here, and I'm just, nope. Defend as much as possible. He still has a total 3 more swings, so they all have to connect in order to win the game. That blocker kind of makes things a little bit more annoying. But I'm like, oh, give me a second. I have to do some math real quick. And then I maybe misplay it. It's been a bit, but like I definitely could have gone for lethal here. Like, this is such a scarier position for me. It's not even funny. It's so crazy that I didn't go for lethal here. I just put a couple Dawn on the Nami, make her like a 7. Not a 7, a 6. So I'll put 3 Dawn on Nami, 1 Dawn on Zoro. That's 4 Dawn used so far. And then I still have 3 on the Zoro, 7, put a couple Dawn on him, and it's lethal. It's impossible to fucking... it's impossible to lose. But I find a way. I find a way to potentially lose. So I not put the Dawn onto the Zoro. And I'll go... Nami did find me a Chopper, which is kind of nice. I'll go ahead and play the Chopper, and I'll pass. I do leave 3 Dawn available, just in case if I start guard pointing off of life, will make a big difference. But now, again, 2 life... 4 attacks on the board, and 1 card in hand, a mystery card, if you will. So 6. Now, this should have been blocked by Chopper every day of the week, but this is kind of a big mistake for me by taking that damage. It's just a series of mistakes. I was thinking about it after the game, and it's just like, why did I take that damage? But it's okay. We persevere. Now he has to kind of deal with this Chopper, because now, like, if he tops a pistol or a suspender, then I get really, really punished, and it just like that, I do get pistoled. But he does have to commit 4 Dawn to pistol me. Right, so now he only has 6 available, and he has to make every attack hit. So he goes to 7 my face. And you know what card perfectly counters a 7? Guard point. But I do this instead just to, like, kind of bait him. I don't think he like is aware at this point that I have a guard point. He has 2 attacks. They both have to go in here, so it's a little bit tough for him. Like he's gonna have to put a Dawn down for me not to like attack. He puts 2 under Zoro, and that's just guard point, and that's game. I don't think there's a way that he could have sequenced it with the amount of combo power I had in my hand with the pistol to win the game here. The only thing that would have made me for sure not lose at any point in time was just block or Chopper block the law. If Chopper blocked the law, it is impossible for him to win the game because of my hands, and I should have just been able to figure that out by doing some quick math, but it is what it is. There is also something to be said if he had 4 more Dawn, how he could have gone ahead about playing his turn. So he goes for the board control aspect, and with no cards in hand, it's just 5 at leader, and then I'll go swag on him with the Nami. Good game, and that wraps it up for our tournament experience. Goodbye. Oh. Hey guys, welcome back to another. And I kind of messed this up. Give me 1 second, I'll fix this right up. Alrighty. But yeah, just let's take some time to like talk about this board state here with this chopper attack, because I did talk to it with my opponent, and it was kind of like a back and forth, and we were trying to decide on why he could have, how he could have defeated me here. He goes for the defense there because I mean there's no point, but basically this whole turn is just like a really nice little puzzle that we can try to figure out. Like I'm certain that there was a way that it could have been sequenced where the law player defeats me, but fortunately we were able to get it out. So I'm going to disappear and let you guys hear the end of this video. So we're back after a long day of One Piece that wasn't so long after all. It ended up being a 3-round tournament at nowhere. It was only 8 players, and it was a top 3 split, best of 1. In the end of the day, we got all 3 matches on video, so as you guys can see, I did go undefeated in the tournament. But without there being a winner's pack, it is what it is. So we got a little consolation prize in terms of a tournament pack, which we got another Yamato, still no Luffy's, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this week's little locals vlogs that we're trying out. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you guys have any comments or suggestions on how to make these videos better, please let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys next week or on the next video. Maybe Monday. One Piece.